this is our petition. Make all unwanted online sexual communication a criminal offence. So what do we mean by that? We mean messaging, obviously cyber flashing, so sending people dick pics.
Yeah.
Cyber stalking, going all the way back down their profile to 2010 and liking all their pictures and stalking on every social media just by using their name. Cyber stalking, that could fucking happen.
Cyber catcalling.
Yeah, cyber catcalling, messaging a random woman you don't know, being like, hey, nice
hey, sexy.
Yeah, let me see your tits, or fucking I want to put my face in that. We get so many inappropriate
You're hot, I want to kiss you all over.
Oh yeah, I've got that screenshot.
Yeah.
And trying to offer money to solicit sexual gratification online.
That is the sugar baby, sugar daddy thing. And there are just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds on there. Or the whole, do you mind if I ask you a question? Because you're a bit more mature. And you just know that it's going to be, I'm a virgin. Can you help me? I've never had sex with anybody. Can you answer this question for me? I mean, there is a plethora of problems with regards to men online, but there'll be guys on there pretending to be single, pretending they're interested in you, and then they want to talk to you about their open relationship that they have. Is it something that you'd be interested in? I'm like, there are places for that. Single women are not sextainment, and they're not there to have these kind of conversations with you, you know. And we're not even liked by men. Men only just like us for what they can get out of us.
And it's like what you said, the men are talking at us, not with us. They're not trying to have some kind of relationship or conversation. It's literally them talking at us, and we've been fired with this information, and we're not allowed to react, we're not allowed to say anything back, because then we're just fucking bitches. Or
yeah, the amount that kick off. And well, at the end of the day, the little boundary that I've discovered with regards to sending kisses, because 99.9% of them do not send kisses to men, so they know that it's a boundary for human people, and they show exactly what they would be like in a relationship.
They don't send a kiss to another man because they know the connotations of putting a kiss at the end of a message.
It's
and
like
they don't want
video where men don't understand boundaries unless it's a gay man approaching them with the
same
attitude.
Yeah,
because that's all about them. Yeah, it will affect them, the way they feel about themselves. It will make them, you know, then they're going out of their way to avoid anything that makes them question their own sexuality. And the only way that they can kind of like prove that they're this man is to mate with a woman. Do you know?
But then, I mean, they just don't even realise that women are entitled to the same level of respect that they give to men.
No.
Unless you are in a situation where you have been talking and you're fine with it, you do not kiss strange people on the internet. You don't send a kiss to your bank manager, your doctor, you know, people like that. Huh?
Yeah, you don't send a kiss to your fucking bank manager, so why is it okay to do it to other strangers?
Yeah, and just because I'm on a dating site doesn't mean that my boundaries aren't there. And it's almost like you're on a dating site, so you're easy meat.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to accept it.
You're asking for it.
Or you're desperate.
Yeah. So the UK plan to criminalise cyber flashing. This does not protect other victims who receive unwanted sexual communications online. So the UK was going to put into plan to criminalise cyber flashing, but and I will put the links in the description in our YouTube video. We wrote a news article on it, and it's got all the sources. You can check out everything yourself. There's no fake news over here, love. So it says. The UK and Wales cyber flashing laws are requiring proof of intention to cause distress. So that's the only time you can get someone done for sending you a dick pic, if you can prove that they wanted to distress you, which is not going to happen, because they could easily flip it and be like, well, I was sending you this dick pic for your sexual pleasure.
Yeah.
And this is why we need to break it down and start people realizing that boundaries need to be right back here with regards to people, particularly men online and dating apps. Women need their boundaries right back here, and vice versa, because unless we know what the intent is, we have to take it that the intent is at the worst level, and a dick pic is intent at worst level. Because if we don't know the person, how do we know? How do we know? How are we able to determine what their intent is when they're saying, hey, sexy, you're hot, I want to kiss you? You know, I don't know this person from Adam. It
might not be them going out to harass someone in their eyes, in their opinion, but as on the receiving end of it, if it makes us uncomfortable, why do we have to fucking question it? We don't like it. If it's uncomfortable, it's not right, don't do it. Why is it a debate? Why is it a debate?
Yep. Well, there's so much up for debate at the moment, you know. I mean, that ADC guy or whatever he is on blimmin' TikTok. I've just done one today. He's just released a video this afternoon. Here, play misogyny bingo with me, guys. Are you male? Do you have dating standards? Are you breathing? You know, and he is ranting away about issues he knows nothing about, and he's just going to end up with a load of following and miseducating young men and putting women into a position where they think that they've got to deal with it, that they've got to behave it because that's the way it is, and it's not. And he's wrong, and he's a danger to young people's minds.
He is a danger. Yeah. So in you know, in terms of the cyber sexual flashing, that's what the UK had suggested, thinking about putting into action. However, if this has already been law since 2010 in Scotland, so we did research into that and how that's being dealt with. In 2021, 1,140 cases of cyber flashing were reported, and only 307 convictions were made. So that's only 1 in 20 reports that result in a conviction.
It's just not good enough, because we know that. I mean, isn't it funny? You know, every woman knows somebody that's been sexually assaulted, a woman that's been sexually assaulted, yet no man knows of any man that sexually assaults women. How does that work?
When they do find out that somebody they know has been charged with that kind of offence, they're always really surprised, aren't they? You know, and then a lot of guys and their female friends will tend to victim shame.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, victim shame. You know,
and that's a big part of why women behaving
drunk.
She
this, she that. Yeah,
it's a big part of why women behaving better started, because I was starting to realise that these people that are wandering around in the street behaving in a certain way, saying that they're a certain kind of people, will go online and behave absolutely differently and show you their true colours. And this is why we are out there to expose them all, because they need consequences. And these kind of consequences that Sophia is highlighting, it's just not good enough. 1 in 20 getting a conviction. And these will be for much more serious issues than, you know, just, well, I don't even know how many of them were for dick pics. What were they for? That would be interesting to find out.
Yeah, actually, I'll look into that.
Yeah, because how serious does it have to be before it actually gets convicted?
Yeah. Who has to get raped, murdered, hurt before we take it seriously? And why do we have to wait for that to take it seriously?
Yeah, there needs to be far more.
Anyway. It's already happening. Women are already fucking raped everywhere. So
every day I share 2 or 3 articles about sexual abuse against women onto our page from just the mainstream news. This isn't going on to, you know, anything specifically run. This is just from the mainstream news from Facebook, and that's where it comes from, and I just whack it over to WBB. But there needs to be consequences for these people that cannot control themselves online.
Yeah.
And I, you know, if you can't control yourself, if you cannot behave like a decent person, then you need to have some way of learning to behave better. Like that guy yesterday that was like, oh, you're lovely, I want to kiss you all over. And I'm like, and I'm trying to tell him, I'm trying to convey to him that he's not making it very easy for me to want to talk to him. And as soon as I start to back away, he gets more and more aggressive, and then tells me that it's my fault because I'm wearing a swimsuit in one of my photographs.
So you're
and that I need, yeah, and I'm asking for it. This is a normal guy walking around the street. He's got daughters, you know, he's got brothers and sisters. He'll have friends that do not have absolutely any clue that that's how he really feels about women. And those are the ones that cause the bigger problems. And I mean, personally, I think that he should be on a watch list in his area.
That should be the punishment for people that are sexually harassing and sexually abusing women in their inbox. It should be put on a register. And
absolutely.
your name's permanently.
Even if that isn't made into a public situation, the police need to be able to look them up when there is a situation and go, well, this person has behaved like that online, let's have a look into it. But then we can't even trust the police. How many articles do I share where it's a policeman that's caused the problem? You know, they take advantage of women. We know that it's a patriarchal manosphere problem. So
there was 3 senior officers were sacked the other day for inappropriate WhatsApp messaging. Again,
that's it.
That was just this week. And I just had a quick look here at the crime in England and Wales, you know, the ONS for .gov.uk. You know, there's been a 26% increase since last year in sexual offences.
Towards women, or just sexual offences in general?
Sexual offences in general, but I just typed in how many rapes have there been in the UK in the 2022, and there's over 70,000. And
that's reported rape.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Think of the unreported. Could you send that article on the chat for me?
Signing of petitions. All signing of petitions have been postponed because of Queenie.
Yes,
it's like mental. So we can't share it to be signed.
No.
And it's made me laugh. I mean, I don't wish to upset anybody because we should all grieve in our own way, or not, as the case may be for most of us. But somebody was like, out of respect for everybody, I'm cancelling all my shows for a week, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why?
And it's like the strikes that Royal Mail and the train services were going to have, they've called the strikes off out of respect for the Queen. You're not going to get paid either way, mate. Why are you bothering?
Well, the thing is, I think that's a political move, to be honest with you, because the right-wing press would have fucking annihilated them had they... Yeah, absolutely. Do you know what I mean?
So stupid.
You know, and as I was saying, you know, a little bit earlier about, you know, they're of a generation, like, you know, I was raised to hold the Queen in reverence. Do you know what I mean? And you know, she has devoted 70 years of her life to. I mean, I know that I said in the text, you know, I could, you know, just showing up and waving, I could have done it for a fraction of the cost. Do you know what I mean? But
I get it, you know, and I understand it. It's a moment of history. We've been brought up with nobody
we're
else
living through history, aren't we? We've got a monarchy change. It's mental, you know. And
I feel a bit weird when grown-up adults can't even form their own opinion by doing their own research, and they're just going off what everyone else is saying. Everyone's like,
oh yeah,
Queen's dead.
Oh yeah, I know. It's you know, it's a moment of history. You know, a woman who's
she's problematic. At the end of the day, the monarchy is problematic, and I do think that it's, you know, what people are doing is sycophantic.
It's unelected people that have kind of like, you know, they don't really have a lot of political sway. You know, I mean, you want to ask Ozzy about why the royalty doesn't have much political influence these days, although you get a bit of an information dump, so probably best not to, you know. But you know, it is a time in history, and the sooner it's over, the fucking better. To be honest with you, it's just going to be another unelected, you know, geriatric who's going to be like, you know, far
so far removed from the reality of us, you know. They're all like,
bollocks.
She's done this, she's done that, she's done the other. We've got more food banks than McDonald's in this country.
Yeah, I know. That is not a legacy to be proud of, is it? You know, that's not a legacy to be proud of, you know. And, you know, with old Liz Truss giving her the kiss of death the other day, do you know?
I've been enjoying it. I've been fully immersed in these memes.
24 hours, she's fucking gone, you know what
Not
I mean?
enough room for two Liz's at the top.
Yeah. You know, so, well, we got old Miss Puss giving fucking Queenie the kiss of death, you know, and it's mental. I feel so detached from the reality that millions of people are living in. I was walking through town today at about 12 o'clock and the bells started ringing, you know, and just like the bells, you know. I actually used to do a little bit of bell ringing down the local church. I did when I moved here. I went and did it for about a year in 2017, you know. It was really quite good fun.
Is it not really, really loud?
Not really, no. Do you know what I mean? But the guy who was teaching me, he was like so patronising. Do you know what I mean?
He just wanted to see what your tugging skills were like.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but I stopped going when I got ill, so I can't remember what it's called now. It begins with a C. Campanology. That's it.
Oh, is that what bell ringing is called? Campanology. Yeah, well, you learn something new every day.
I know. So, you know, you got to have a go at whatever's available, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? When you're living in a little village and the only thing on offer is a bit of bell ringing, I'm going to go and do a bit of bell ringing, mate.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Glass of wine in one hand, bells in the other. It's a great Friday evening.
It's like there's I responded to a video on TikTok, like where a bloke in Australia, bless him, he was like, where did we go to meet people nowadays at our age? And I'm like, okay, we'll try being a woman and in the country. And some woman, bless the little heart, I think she's trying to help me, but she's like, well, take your dog to the woods. Yeah. If you want to find me in a week.
You just make it easier for the murderer.
And she's like, get a protective dog. I'm like, have you seen Darcy? I've got 2 chihuahuas. I am not getting another one.
Oh no.
But yeah, I was like, oh, bless your heart. Yeah, let me get an aggressive. I don't need an aggressive dog. I'm aggressive enough in myself.
Yeah.
But there's no way we could put ourselves at risk like that.
No.
We're
going back to
if
the
anything happened, the first thing that would be said would be, well, why did you go there on your own?
Yeah. You know it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've actually been out for ages because it was so hot for ages, and I've got out of the habit. And my dog she's 11 and a half, and she's getting a bit lazy now. You know,
she deserves the rest.
She wants to go and she'll have a crap on the little triangle of dirt grass down on the estate, and then want to come home again. You know, she's not really interested for going trogging over the Bluebell Woods and that. You know, so I haven't really been out walking much,